she's feeling a little bit apprehensive. She's like, what has Crispin got himself into? Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome to part, I think, 16 of the third generation of my Medieval Legacy challenge. We are briefly visiting the Whitlock farm because I wanted to give you guys a couple of little updates on the kids and stuff. We've got aged up children, which is great, but, you know, also, sadly, Alana passed away. First things first, actually. She was actually looking at the grave when I started recording, but of course I clicked off it. So the epitaph appears to read, adoring wife, mother, and grandmother. So Alana, she died of old age, as you'd expect. I played the house for a couple of days, and she was near the end of her life. So she has passed away. Everyone's very sad, except for Nalani, because she didn't actually know her that well, which is a bit sad, but you know, it is how it is sometimes. Like, she was a bit sad, the whole witnessing death thing, but not crushed like everyone else. This is little Nanette, all grown up, trying to have a chat to the chickens. I gather it's not going very well. Just hold still for a sec, sweetie. She is a mermaid. I can't remember if I told you guys. 2 of the 3 kids are mermaids, and it's interesting. It's the ones with Nalani's colouring, and I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's actually the game conflating the two, but little Nanette here is a mermaid, an absolutely beautiful little girl. She's doing her farm chores. The two twins, is that a tautology? I think it is. One of you, in fact, a couple of you suggested water-based names for the twins, and I really love that idea. This is little Dylan, who is our other mermaid, and you can tell because he has his mother's colouring. Isn't he precious? He's so sweet. He's playing with a rack and stack block thing at the moment. Now, the name Dylan was suggested by Lena Hoover. Thank you very much for the name suggestion. Thanks, everybody, for name suggestions, by the way. And I ended up leaving the other child as Dante because I kind of like the alliteration. He's currently on the potty. So this Dante and Dylan as twins. Dante, obviously, to me, evokes a more fire-based thing, but that's just because of the phrase Dante's Inferno. I actually don't know the meaning of the word Dante, but he obviously has more like his dad's colouring, and he's a human. So there you go. I assume that the parents test. Let's imagine the parents can test whether they're human or mermaid by putting them in the bath and seeing what happens. I know that's not how it works, but I know that they're humans and mermaids. So there you go. We have a little bit of each, which is very cute. Look at him, little bean. Anyway, we're not going to be here very long. I just thought I would show you what all the kids look like. I did also put a picture of them up on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, if you want to, it's Aussie Cass Plays, unsurprisingly. And I do sometimes put screenshots in there. The other family news that I put up on Insta is Annabella, Vivian's younger sister, and Cephas Honeycutt, the youngest brother of the 3 Honeycutt brothers. They're pregnant now. So thank you for the name suggestions. I'm not saying she's pregnant with a boy and that I already checked, but I'm just saying that they might come in handy. Yeah, okay, she's pregnant with a boy, and yes, I checked, and it's just one. So I'm sure we'll get you some use out of the other names. Anyway, I'm going to leave these guys here, and we're actually going to switch across to Desiree, arriving at Crispin's house. I expect Crispin is going to be really sad because his mom's just died. Poor thing. All right, you guys, this is the little sort of woodcutter's cottage that Crispin is living in. If you've watched the machinima that I made of what he's been up to lately, you will have already seen this, but it's really, really cute. I downloaded it from the gallery and then made a ton of changes, like added the terrain and things like laundry and cottage living stuff and all that kind of stuff and put it on the gallery. The thing that's new since I did put it on the gallery is this cow shed, because Crispin has a baby in the house with him and he's unable to feed it. I thought about having him just purchase milk so that he could give bottles, because in my mind I've said no, they can't do bottles ever because there's no formula. But I figure if you're desperate and you've got no alternative, you use cow milk. And Desiree has just arrived and is feeling dizzy. It's been a long journey. She flew here on a broomstick. You know how it is. So she's going to come and brighten his day. I love how this fox is thinking about paperwork. I have lost 2 chickens in this household to foxes already. These guys have known each other since they were kids. They were in the same friends group. She's asking him, so, you know, you sent a letter to me. What's the emergency? And he's like, well, you'll have to come upstairs with me and I will show you. So he's like, come with me. She's feeling a little bit apprehensive. She's like, what has Crispin got himself into? She's quite impressed at his little setup here. Like, he's clearly, you know, making a business for himself. He's made a cow shed and all kinds of cool stuff. So he's like, this is my daughter Willow. Desiree's like, your daughter? He's like, yeah, I haven't told anyone because look at her. She's blue. And Desiree's like, has she always been blue? And he's like, as long as I've had her in this house, yes, she's always been blue. And he seems quite concerned about the whole blue baby thing. But at the other hand, it's also really clear that he adores her. He's talking to her about, you know, how beautiful she is. And what he's saying to Desiree is, can you help me make her be not blue? I love her and, you know, her smile makes me happy and she lights up my life. But if she's blue, I can't take her out into the world. I can never take her home. I can't go and visit mum's grave. And his voice catches when he says that. And he's like, you know, I can't go home and visit my parents or anything because I can't take a blue child with me. So Desiree's asking, you know, well, how did you come to have a daughter? He's explaining the situation, how he met this woman, Bo, who, you know, she came to the cabin one day and they got on really well. And one thing led to another. And then she left and he didn't see her or hear from her again and went looking for her in the mysterious forest to the south, which you can kind of see out the window, and discovered that she was a fae and that she was pregnant. She obviously came into the house and dropped the baby off. Desiree's like, look, I don't 100% know what I can do here to help you. I've never encountered a blue child before. Was the mother blue? And he's like, well, not when she was in disguise, but yes, when in the forest, when I went to see her, she was blue. They're basically having a big old discussion about it. Now, in terms of actually changing Willow's skin tone, I actually wanted to leave that to you guys. So if you think that it's okay for me to change the baby's skin tone, then we'll have Desiree stay for a bit. She'll do some magic, a spell of some kind to change the baby's skin tone, and we'll make her be not blue. If you think I should leave her as she is, then I will do that. And we'll say that Desiree can't do it. Oh, baby, don't cry. Don't you be feeling flirty with each other. How is there romantic decor here? Is it this? It is this. Hang on, let's disable the emotional aura on that. I'm not super comfortable with them feeling flirty when they're talking to each other because they're cousins. So we are going to age her up so you guys can see little Willow as a toddler. She's actually around the same age as Dylan and Dante. So she's actually probably like a month or two older. Oh, they just became good friends. I thought it was a good opportunity for Desiree to start her fairy godmothering of the family by doing something to help them with magic. You know, let me know what you think. We do have a toddler bed. He's actually already made one, which is sitting here. He's going to offer this bed to Desiree. She's going to say no. I'm actually going to put a single bed in, but it's probably going to have to be downstairs. So independent. She's a little fairy queen with her mama's hair too. Oh my goodness. Well, let's have a look at her face. Now, she's a human alien hybrid, which means she's actually human, not an alien, but she has her mum's alien features. She's an alien, but we're saying she's fae. That's how they work. So she's like a half fae, but she's inherited that appearance. So let's give her a quick little makeover. And then I'm actually going to switch across to Vivienne's family because we've got things to do there as well. Right, guys, this is little Willow. Isn't she so sweet? She's got the little upturned nose. It's from Olivia, I think. Runs quite strongly in this family, so it'll be interesting to see. I was wondering, actually, if her dad had it. Maybe it's from her mum's side. No, he's got the little upturn as well. It's a definite thing, like Andrea, Isabella, all of them had it. So I'll show you her outfits real quick. She's so cute. It's really hard to accessorize for this colouring though, I have to say. And I gave her a little mushroom hat because she's an elf. I know it's not very medieval, but I was like, it's cute. And I just got it from TSR. They're doing an arcane series of CC at the moment. Yeah, I went on a downloading spree and I think it's cute. So, you know, We'll go with it. So here's little Willow in game. She's very sad because her grandma died. Because she never met her. She probably doesn't even know she exists. But look at her. She is very cute. It's just not particularly medieval. And because she's not actually a full-blooded alien or fae, she can't disguise herself. Like, she doesn't have that ability. Now, this house is tiny. There's actually no room upstairs for me to put a bed for Desiree. What I've done, we're going to imagine a day's past, and Crispin has, with his handiness skill that he has, put up a little wooden kind of frame here, and we've popped a bed in. She's got this little table was outside already, and I've just put a stack of books there because I imagine she probably would have brought some stuff with her. So, that's where that's all at. I'm actually going to switch across now to Vivienne's household. So I just loaded up the house. And Genevieve's been in a fight, you guys. I don't know who with. Basically, it's saying she's bruised and battered from having been in a fight. Alondra! So at some point when I've had been playing in another household, I assume what this means is she's run into someone in the neighborhood and they've gotten in a Barney. Now, Alondra, from memory, is mean. She's the one, she's obviously should be a bit older than this by now. She's the one that Jonathan went on a date with. She was just not interested. So I don't know what's happened there, but our little girl has been in a fight. Now, she was the last one to come back in. So I don't know if that means she's been sneaking out and getting in fights. By the way, Godric has taken his responsibility as the keeper of the fish and the frogs seriously, and he's currently sleeping in Desiree's room while she's away, which is good, actually. I think Gerard would be happy with that arrangement because he also gets his room to himself. Now, the kids are off to school. I am curious to see if I have them study hard, if they get progress, because I've been having a lot of glitches with performance over the last couple of days. I noticed it on the weekend. I think it's been going on since the Spa Day patch. So if I say study hard, does she get the little arrows? I'm not seeing little arrows, but I also don't know how often they appear. I'm hoping that I fixed it. I updated a ton of mods, but this is not looking promising. Do you think I treat you good? This will be an interesting answer. She said no! Oh my god, Vivienne. The jealousy. It's too much. He's feeling tense because he won't cuddle her, and she said she doesn't think he treats her very well. I wonder how much of this is the continued jealousy from, situation with Desiree, like how he was kind of flirting with her, but not really. Interestingly, if I tell her to make friends, her social starts going up. So it is sort of recognizing it, but her performance isn't changing either way. I mean, that's good. I can have them slack off and do whatever they want and it won't matter. So Vivienne, who is looking very stripy, is having a chat at the end of the day with her daughter. I noticed you've been out a couple of times recently and come home pretty late. And I also noticed you had a bruise. Genevieve at first is denying it and saying, no, it didn't happen. I swear it didn't happen. And Vivienne's like, look, I know you went out with your friends to the bar and that was fine. I'm just saying you came home a little late and then you snuck out again another time. So do you want to talk to me about what's going on? I'm especially worried about you coming home with bruises on you. Is someone hurting you? Genevieve's saying, no, look, don't be mad, but I did go out again. There's a young man that I get on quite well with, and nothing's happened between me and him, but I met him and we were just talking and we were at the bar and then I got in a bit of an altercation. So I guess I can ask about Hammond and see if her mum has ever heard of him, because her mum will be like, okay, well, who is this boy that you've been sneaking out to talk to? His name's Hammond. Have you heard of him? Do you know him? I have not had the pleasure of meeting Hammond. Perhaps that is a thing that you could address, darling, and if you're being courted, introduce us to the boy courting you. Genevieve's are like, it's not like that. I'm not being courted. We're talking a lot, that's all. Vivienne knows that's how it starts, although to be fair, her and Joseph started with kissing, pretty much. It was like, hi, how are you? And then he kissed her. So Vivienne gets the kind of trouble Genevieve could get herself into. And obviously in Vivienne's case, it worked out because Joseph had honourable intentions, but she doesn't know anything about this Hammond person. So she's like, look, we need to meet this boy. Once she's done with that, I'm actually going to have her send a letter. Perhaps her younger brother could run it to his house or something. And we'll invite Hammond to hang out and the parents can meet him. This is the first time this has happened since we've been on this lot. We just got bills we can't afford. It says we have to pay 31,000 simoleons. We currently have 23. I have no idea why that would be, why it's so expensive. So I am going to have to run the shop because you know, that's definitely a thing that we need to make some money. She is actually in a friends group with Hammond, but we just want to invite Hammond over. I don't think I want to deal with the logistics of it, honestly. So Hammond's coming over. She's sent a letter. Her little brother's run it over to be like, you want to come over for dinner? And he's like, oh my God, being invited to meet the parents. She's feeling very embarrassed. She's like, I can't believe my parents are making me do this. You know, he and I haven't even really talked about whether or not he might be interested. So, you know, this is excruciatingly embarrassing. Oh, he's come in and started cleaning the sink. She's like, pleased to meet you, young man. I hear you've been socializing with my daughter. And he's like, yeah, you know, we're friends. Now, I'm actually going to put her back in the clothes she was wearing because there is no way on this earth that she would get changed into her pajamas while the boy she fancies is here. So I think Joseph is going to be the excruciatingly embarrassing dad and be like, pleased to meet you, son. What are your intentions toward my daughter? Ask if Hammond had woohoo. I feel like he would. That's like a little purity test, right? And poor Genevieve is going to be like, Dad, let's talk up Genevieve. She would be a good match. And poor Genevieve is even more embarrassed now. So she's seeing what's happening. Wow, I'd love to get to know her. So they're having a nice little chat. I wonder what that did to their relationship. I mean, they were already friends. They've got even better friends. And I think we're going to ask him about his intentions, ask about his career or his future career. Basically, this is an awkward interrogation, which Joseph knows all about. He learned it at the hands of Thomas and Rose. So he's all across it. Hammond, I think, he did seem quite interested in Genevieve. I don't know if he'd made a decision. I love this. Very dignified dancing in the background. And she's so embarrassed that she's like, I just can't. I'm going to go hide in my room. All right. He shows signs of the artist personality type. He's an art lover. And Vivienne obviously is very interested in that. Have a deep conversation. Does that also get you a trade? He's a maker. So far he seems like a good match. Joseph's basically saying, look, you may court my daughter if she's happy for you to, but no funny business. No meeting her at the bar after dark because she got hurt by that crazy Alondra woman. And Hammond's like, yep, okay, no, that's fair enough. Might send little Hammond away. I am going to have to run the shop. I'll catch you guys when I'm done one way or the other. So it's the next day. Joseph's downstairs taking care of the shop. Vivienne's making herself a birthday cake because it's actually her birthday today, which is wild to me. I don't even know how that happened. And the kids are at school and I may have fixed it. I decided as a test, even though it was working with Slice of Life in my other save file, it was clearly not working here. So I've decided as a test to take Slice of Life out completely. And you'll see when Genevieve left for school, her performance was down here. And Godric's moved almost the whole way up the bar. Godric's a B student. It was Slice of Life. Thank you, Lady Sweetheart. I saw your comment on my Not So Berry challenge this morning. And you mentioned that you weren't using Slice of Life yet because of the slight delay in Quiet Stacey updating it. It seemed like it was working. It was working in my other save file, but obviously not here. Thank you for that. All right, you guys, it's the next morning and we've managed to pay the bills. I have 270 simoleons left over, so it's going great. But, you know, that's how it is. And I just really want to quickly have Vivienne blow out the candles on her cake before she ages up on her own while the kids are at school, because they have to leave for school soon. I'm trying to get everyone to come here. Little Genevieve is endeavouring. She's doing her very, very best to make salad so her mum doesn't have to cook breakfast. But I'm going to get little Vivienne to blow out the candles. This will make her an adult, unless something's gone horribly wrong. Happy birthday! Yay! I'm so happy. She's an adult now. Kids, have cake for breakfast. Or, you know, fruit salad. Whatever. I'm going to let the kids go to school. I'm going to get them to study hard. I'm going to have Joseph tell his wife how beautiful. He's going to tell her a funny story about how they first met. She's talking about the conversation she had with Vivienne. He's like, well, you know, that's not the first time that she's gotten in a fight with someone. She got in a fight with that Octavia lady when she was a kid. And I think Vivienne's saying, well, that's not really the same because that Octavia lady was an adult and Genevieve was just a child. She's old enough to know better now. So I think what I might do when I age up Genevieve is maybe give her the hot-headed trait because she's currently a creative bookworm, but she's been in 2 fights now autonomously. All right, study hard, everybody. I want you to come home with B's. Where are you going? Why? He's going to attempt to seduce his wife, remind her how beautiful she is. Basically, because Vivienne is jealous, she needs constant reassurance. Maybe that's why she came up here, because she's actually missing her cousin. He's like, do you miss her? And she's saying yes, and she's asking if he misses her, and he's having to downplay it because otherwise she'll get jealous. He's like, look, I do, but I'm professing my undying love to you. I feel like this part's been long enough. I did spend ages on running the shop just to get the money together. I love that they're doing this in their pajamas. It's like, I've written you a poem for your birthday. All right, well, I'm going to leave this part here. We'll let them go and have some little birthday woohoos. I've paid the bills. We are obviously going to have to buckle down and earn some cash. The other thing I've done, which I haven't shown you guys yet, but I will hopefully show you in the next part or two, is I've actually built the house I'm going to move Gerard into. He is going to be, I actually kept saying page. He's too old to be a page. A page is a child. He will be a squire, and his job as a squire to a knight is looking after the armor, the horses, running errands, potentially carrying the pennant banner thingy when the knight rides into battle, that kind of thing. So I built him this quote unquote stable he's going to live at. And my thought was, because he'll be doing this as a teen, that when he goes to class, that's actually him doing his work with his knight lord that he will be sworn to. And I've gotten him an alpaca to represent the mount, the noble steed. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty cool, but I'll show you guys that maybe next part. In the meantime, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Don't forget to let me know what you think we should do about little baby Willow. And if you have enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.